This message isn't random. Your soul was summoned here because healing must begin now. There's something sacred happening in the unseen right now. You didn't just click this. Heaven pulled you. God aligned time, space, and breath so that you would be still in this moment. And if your heart is racing a little, if your chest feels tight, if your eyes are starting to sting, that's not emotion. That's encounter. This is not content. This is a visitation. Because heaven has seen the private pain you never voiced, the silent battles behind your smile, the weight you've been carrying in your chest, in your bones, in your thoughts, the tears you didn't let fall, and the ones that slipped out when no one could hear. Yes, even those. Beloved, I speak now with trembling reverence. You are not cursed. You are not forgotten. And you are not too late. You are right on time. Because heaven is never early and never behind. Psalm 34 verse 18 says, "The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit." And you are the one He's drawing near to tonight. Heaven has dispatched Archangel Michael to oversee what begins now. Not to scare you, but to cover you. To surround you with divine assistance. To clear the spiritual atmosphere around your soul so that healing can begin and not be delayed again. And if you're wondering why now, why today, why this message? It's because your name was whispered in a heavenly meeting. Michael was there when the order was given. The moment God said it's time, send the word. They are ready now. And here you are. This is the start of restoration. Not in pieces, not in theory, but in reality. In the quiet, steady, undeniable unfolding of your healing. Mind, body, spirit. Because heaven saw when you started to believe something was wrong with you. When you questioned whether you were under a curse. When you wondered if you missed your chance. When you started to believe that maybe the life you hoped for had passed you by. But let me tell you now, as Archangel Michael stands in witness, you are not cursed. You are not disqualified. And you are not behind. You are being preserved for this exact moment of awakening. You didn't miss the miracle. The miracle was being guarded for when your heart would be open enough to receive it fully. God doesn't waste pain. He doesn't overlook tears. He gathers everyone and uses them to water your future. You thought you were abandoned, but you were actually being wrapped in mercy. Michael whispers now, you've been marked for mercy. Not judgment, not punishment, but mercy. And that mercy is not just a feeling. It is a shield. It is a light that begins moving through your life, even now touching places you thought were too broken to heal. Beloved, the first step in this healing is not perfection. It's permission. Permission to receive what heaven is offering. Permission to believe again. Permission to open the door to restoration without knowing how it all unfolds. So right now I invite you to simply say, "Yes, Lord. I receive my healing." Say it softly if you must. Say it in your heart if you're too tired to speak. But say it, because heaven is listening. And when your heart agrees, miracles begin to move. Healing doesn't start when everything looks better. Healing starts when you say yes to being loved again, to being protected again, to being carried even if you've forgotten how to stand. You are not required to have all the answers. You are not required to feel strong. You are not required to fix what broke you. You are only required to be present, because heaven is doing the rest. God says, this is not the end of your story. This is the start of your restoration. And I want you to feel that in your chest right now. That warmth that's beginning to rise, that pressure behind your eyes, that's the presence of the Holy Spirit drawing near. He's not angry with you. He's not disappointed in you. He's not even surprised by what you've been through. He's just been waiting for this very moment. For your yes. For your surrender. For the doorway of healing to crack open. And now it has. Michael's shield is raised around you now, and the process has begun. The next few days may feel unusual. You might sense emotions rising you thought you'd buried. You might feel unusually tired or suddenly hopeful. That's not mood. That's movement. Heaven is stirring the waters. And beloved, your healing is no longer optional. It's inevitable. So stay near. Keep listening. Let your spirit stay soft. Because what's coming next is deeper. And it will start to explain why the battle was so heavy and why the enemy fought so hard to keep you from hearing this. Because part 2 will reveal the hidden attack you didn't even know you were under. And why Archangel Michael is standing guard now. Yes, beloved, healing has begun. Heaven is here, and you are covered. If you believe Archangel Michael is guarding you tonight, type "protected" in the comments as your declaration of faith and covering. Your confusion wasn't weakness, it was warfare. That emotional fog you've been stuck in. The heavy sadness that had no clear cause. The strange fatigue that clung to you even after sleeping through the night. It wasn't random. It wasn't just stress. It was a spiritual assault. And heaven saw all of it. Beloved, this is where Archangel Michael steps in to speak. Because you need to know you've been under attack, and you didn't even realize it. The enemy didn't come through loud disaster. He came through the slow unraveling, through the silence, through the doubt, through the moments you questioned your own strength and then questioned your own worth. But listen now with your spirit. You were not weak. You were under siege, and still, you survived. Ephesians chapter 6 verse 12 says, "For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places." You weren't fighting people. You were fighting powers. Powers that tried to whisper that you were losing. But heaven declares, you are still here. And that means the attack failed. Archangel Michael has been watching. He's been reporting back to the throne of God. And now he reveals what was hidden behind your confusion. That unshakable fatigue. It wasn't laziness. It was the weight of spiritual interference. Warfare will drain a soul, even when the person doesn't know they're in a battle. That blocked prayer life. You tried to pray. You wanted to worship, but something always distracted, discouraged, or shut you down. That wasn't your fault. That was resistance. And those strange dreams, the ones that left you unsettled, the ones where you saw shadows, arguments, familiar faces behaving strangely. Those weren't just dreams. They were signals. You were under attack, but you were also under surveillance by heaven. Michael stood guard when the enemy tried to cross the line. There were things sent against you that never reached your door. Sicknesses that turned away, accidents that never happened, losses that were blocked at the gate. You didn't see it, but God was preserving you. You thought the delay was punishment, but it was protection. You thought the silence meant heaven had gone quiet, but it meant angels were fighting on your behalf. Your family line has been carrying battles for generations. Patterns of loss, patterns of poverty, patterns of betrayal. And without realizing it, you were born into a war you didn't choose. But heaven chose you to end it, to interrupt it, to break what others endured and pass down freedom instead of fear. You are not here by accident. You are a breaker of chains. You are a generational warrior wrapped in mercy. And even in your confusion, even in your exhaustion, you were rising. The enemy targeted you because he sensed your calling. He tried to confuse you so you wouldn't pray with clarity. He tried to isolate you so you wouldn't find comfort. He tried to wear you down so you'd surrender before the breakthrough. But beloved, look around. You're still here. And if you're still here, then heaven is not done. Michael now reveals something else. There were conversations in the spiritual realm about your protection. Times when the enemy requested access to your joy, your mind, your home. And God said, no, not this one, not now. Heaven doesn't always remove the battle. Sometimes it surrounds the soldier. And that's what happened with you. You were surrounded, even in your darkest hour, even when it felt like your prayers hit a ceiling, even when you didn't know what was wrong, but everything felt wrong. You were being covered. Heaven never stopped watching. The angels never left your side. And now, because you stayed, because you didn't give up, because your heart kept whispering, God, please help me. Even when your mouth couldn't form the words, the attack has lifted. Something is breaking off of you now. The confusion, the dullness, the haze, the spiritual exhaustion that made everything feel 10 times heavier than it should have. It's lifting. Michael says, you've survived what was sent to destroy you. And now, you are stronger than ever. Don't believe the lie that survival is weakness. Survival is strength. Survival means purpose still beats in your chest. And heaven is not done using you. The enemy tried to convince you that something was wrong with you. But the truth is, something was right with you. So right that darkness couldn't ignore you. But light is rising now. And everything the enemy tried to confuse will now become clear. The heaviness is being replaced by peace. The silence is being replaced by guidance. And the shadows are being scattered by truth. So say this with me, now I am not broken. I am being restored. I was never alone. I was protected. I received the clarity heaven is sending. Beloved, the war against your peace has ended. And a new chapter is opening. One filled with clarity, focus, and authority. Don't be surprised if in the coming days, your sleep improves. Your thoughts lighten. Your prayers begin to flow again. That's not coincidence. That's confirmation. Heaven was always with you. And now you know. Stay close. Because in part 3, we're going even deeper. There's something ancient in your bloodline that tried to follow you. But tonight it ends. The curse that chased you stops here. And what heaven does next will shift your entire story. This isn't just about your pain. It's about the pattern that's been repeating for generations. Beloved, listen closely. Because what you've called bad luck, or just how life is, was never normal. It was never random. It was never yours to carry in the first place. The financial struggle that kept showing up right when you were getting ahead. The heartbreaks that always felt like they mirrored each other, no matter who came or left. The anxiety, the fear, the sense that something invisible was always trying to hold you back. You weren't imagining it. You were being followed by something ancient. A spiritual weight passed down like a shadow across time. A pattern no one wanted, but everyone silently tolerated. But you were never meant to tolerate it. You were born to end it. Archangel Michael has stepped forward now to name what others ignored. This curse, this generational burden, has carried 3 signatures: rejection, financial ruin, emotional abandonment, rejection that shows up even when you try your best. That feeling of being overlooked, left out, uninvited, not chosen. It wasn't about your worth. It was about a wound that started long before you were born. Financial ruin that seems to arrive without warning. A job loss, a drained account, a door that shuts just as you approach it. Heaven says this was not just mismanagement. It was a spiritual drain and emotional abandonment, where you are always the one comforting, always the one giving, but rarely the one truly held. You feel deeply, but few have felt you in return. Isaiah chapter 10 verse 27 declares, "The yoke will be destroyed because of the anointing." And beloved, that anointing is upon you now. It's the reason the patterns can't continue. It's the reason the yoke breaks tonight. You've been crying out for personal healing, but heaven answers with generational deliverance. Because this isn't just about your emotions. It's about what lives in your lineage. It's about the prayers your grandmother whispered with no one listening. The pain your father never spoke of. The betrayal that shaped your mother's silence. The choices that weren't yours but still affected your life. You were born into a battlefield, but you were born with spiritual armor. You, beloved, are the bloodline breaker, the one chosen by heaven to say, "It stops with me. It ends here. No more." And yes, you may feel unqualified. Yes, you may feel like the least equipped. But God chose you, not because of what you have, but because of who you are in the Spirit. There's a purity in your heart that the enemy has tried to pollute, a strength in your soul that hell has tried to exhaust, a clarity in your spirit that darkness tried to confuse. But none of it worked. Because here you are, still listening, still standing, still ready. The curse that tried to follow you has now been seen by heaven and declared illegal. Michael now draws his flaming sword, not in anger, but in finality. Heaven is not negotiating with this curse. Heaven is ending it. And when heaven ends a thing, it can no longer return. Beloved, this is the turning point. This is the spiritual rupture. This is the unsealing of every blessing that was locked up by patterns of pain. Because you said yes. Because you stayed. Because your soul was awake enough to hear this message. Healing is not only touching you, but it is moving through you. It's touching your bloodline, your children, your future children, the atmosphere of your home, the decisions of those connected to you. Yes, even the ones who haven't yet repented. The anointing breaks the yoke, not just the visible one, but the invisible leash that has dragged your name through cycles of lack, heartbreak, and confusion. That leash is now burned. And Michael speaks now with divine authority. You will never go through that cycle again. Let these declarations rise from your spirit. I cancel every generational curse spoken over my life. I declare that what followed my bloodline ends tonight. I receive the blessing that was meant for me all along. I stand under the sword of Michael, and I am free. This is not temporary relief. This is permanent reversal. You are not who the curse said you were. You are who God called you to be. Healed, restored, chosen, free. The power that kept showing up to delay your progress, gone. The emotional patterns that attracted the wrong people, severed. The poverty mindset that clung to your dreams, replaced. The fear of abandonment, healed, and in its place. Peace, favor, clarity, true belonging, divine alignment. You are stepping into what your ancestors prayed for but could not reach. You are walking through doors they couldn't find. And because of your yes, they are smiling from the heavenly realm. Beloved, this is your spiritual landmark moment. The one you'll look back on and say, that was the night everything shifted. And you don't have to do anything to earn it. You just need to receive it. Let your tears fall. Let your spirit feel the break. Let your hands open to heaven, because freedom is flooding in. Michael stands beside you, not just as a warrior, but as a witness. And his sword is drawn, not for battle, but for victory. The victory of your family line, the freedom of your soul, the beginning of your real story. Stay close, because in part 4, you'll learn what happened in the throne room of heaven when your name was whispered, and how that whisper started the miracle now unfolding around you. You are the bloodline breaker, and the curse that tried to follow you ends tonight. You thought you were forgotten, but heaven held a meeting, and your name was mentioned, not in passing, not as a memory, but as a priority. Beloved, there was a time you cried and heard nothing back. A time when you begged for answers and the silence felt cruel. You wondered if your prayers were bouncing off the ceiling. You asked yourself, does God even see me anymore? You felt small, overlooked, left behind. But what you didn't know is that while the earth felt silent, heaven was speaking. And your name, yes, your name, was spoken aloud in the presence of God. Psalm 139 verse 16 says, "All the days ordained for me were written in your book before one of them came to be." That means your life has never been random. Your timeline has never been forgotten. Your steps have been recorded, and your seasons have been sealed. And when the time came, when the pain began to press too hard, when the warfare felt like it might overwhelm you, God called a meeting. And in that meeting, a divine document was placed on the table. It was marked with your name, your story, your wounds, your prayers. And across that scroll was written one word: restoration. Heaven didn't leave you behind. Heaven was preparing to bring you forward in full strength. And Archangel Michael was present. He stood in that meeting as your defender. He raised his sword as a sign that your case had been heard, that the warfare would not go unanswered, that the delays would not go unredeemed, that your healing had been authorized. Beloved, there is now a spiritual seal on your breakthrough. It cannot be reversed. It cannot be denied, because heaven has already approved it. The delay was never a punishment. It was preparation. You weren't being ignored. You were being equipped. Heaven was fortifying your character, strengthening your discernment, teaching your spirit how to hear the whisper behind the silence. God knew that if He gave it to you too soon, it would slip through your hands. But now, your hands are ready. Your heart is steady. Your name is written, and the timing is right. There's a holy movement now unfolding around you. Things you prayed for months ago are beginning to resurface. Old dreams are stirring again. Divine connections are circling back. Unfinished chapters are being reopened. Not to break you, but to bless you properly this time. Michael speaks now with divine clarity. The next phase of protection and favor is being released now. You may not see it yet. You may not feel different. But trust this something was set into motion the moment heaven said your name. The favor that passed you by is returning. The opportunities that slipped away are circling back. The relationships that fell apart under pressure are being reevaluated in the spirit, and only what's aligned with God's covering will enter your atmosphere again. You've been marked for mercy, signed for restoration, assigned for healing, and your name has been etched in the records of divine favor. Say this with me: my name is remembered. My story is unfolding exactly on time. I receive the release that heaven has declared over me. This is not wishful thinking. This is a prophetic reversal. This is heaven's response to every moment you thought you were invisible. And beloved, what's even more beautiful is that your restoration isn't just for you. When heaven moves in your life, it ripples through your family. Your peace becomes protection over your household. Your healing becomes an inheritance. This is the beginning of something bigger than you can imagine. And it started with a whisper. Your whisper to God, and God's whisper of your name. You are not a forgotten prayer. You are not a missed opportunity. You are not a silent soul in the crowd. You are chosen. You are remembered. You are seen. Let your heart receive this truth. You're not waiting for heaven to notice you. Heaven has been waiting for you to recognize that you were already chosen. Michael now stands at the threshold of your next chapter. Sword still raised, scroll still sealed, heaven still watching. And the words echo again, you are seen, you are chosen, you are remembered. Stay close now, because in part 5, you'll understand why the atmosphere in your home is shifting, and how the angels have already been assigned to guard every room where you rest. The healing has been authorized. The covering has begun, and your name is still being spoken in heaven. The atmosphere in your home is shifting. Angels are now on assignment. Beloved, something unseen has changed. The air may feel lighter, the silence more peaceful. Even if your surroundings look the same, the spiritual climate has been cleansed. Heaven has moved in, and Archangel Michael has confirmed. Your house is now under angelic guard. You may not have noticed when it started. Maybe it was when you opened your heart to this message, or when your tears fell and your spirit whispered, God, please help me. But the moment your spirit said yes, heaven responded with reinforcements. Psalm 91 verse 11 says, "For he will command his angels concerning you to guard you in all your ways." Not just to guard your body, not just your schedule, but your space, your home, your rest, your sleep, your dreams, your threshold. Beloved, your home has now become a sanctuary, not because of the structure, but because of the spirit that has now taken residence. Archangel Michael reveals this clearly. The spiritual residue that once lingered has been swept out. The unrest, the heaviness, the unexplained tension in the rooms where you once cried or argued or felt the weight of anxiety. It's been cleansed. There was warfare near your bed, sleep disturbances, dreams that left you shaken, restlessness at night. That wasn't just stress. That was spiritual interference. But now, heaven says no more. The angels have been released. They are taking post at your windows, your front door, your bedroom, your children's rooms, even the spaces where arguments echoed and tears fell. They've been touched by divine peace. And this peace isn't surface level. It runs deep into the bones of the space, into the very walls. The floors you walk on are now covered in divine protection. The air you breathe is saturated with God's presence, because something holy has entered. Michael speaks now with clarity. This house belongs to God now. No enemy may dwell here. If you felt your spirit tense in your own home, if you've been walking on edge, if you've been unable to rest in the very place where rest should live, that cycle ends tonight. Let this moment be your declaration. My home is under angelic guard. My sleep is protected. My atmosphere is holy ground. Beloved, stretch your hand toward the space around you. Even if it's just a corner of a room, even if others in the house don't yet believe, even if the walls have heard more weeping than worship, stretch your hand and speak softly, peace be still. No weapon formed against this home shall prosper. Every spirit not of God must go. Every heaviness must lift. Every shadow must flee. This house belongs to the Lord. You don't need oil. You don't need a ritual. You just need authority. and heaven has granted it to you now. The nightmares you've been having, they will stop. The random waking at 3 a.m. in fear, it will end. The tightness in your chest when you lie down, peace will take its place. Heaven is not just healing your heart. Heaven is healing your home. Even your furniture, the places where sorrow once sat, they are being re-anointed with rest. And if you've had family members, children, or loved ones who struggle with emotional heaviness, the angels are standing over their rooms now, laying hands on their pillows, whispering peace over their minds. There is a blanket of divine safety resting over your household, one that cannot be touched by fear, sickness, or confusion. Declare it now: this home is holy. This bed is safe. This roof is covered in angelic flame. The spiritual realm is real. And tonight, the battle for your atmosphere was won. You'll begin to notice subtle things. The room feels brighter even at night. You'll fall asleep faster. You'll wake up less anxious. Even the air might smell sweeter. These are not coincidences. They are confirmations. Michael has positioned angels like sentries around your space. And they are not temporary. They are assigned. So even when you leave the house, the covering remains. Even if someone else enters, they will feel the difference. And if darkness tries to return, it won't be able to stay. Because the house is sealed, and the seal belongs to the Lord. This is more than protection. It's transformation. Your home is being redefined in the Spirit. No longer a battleground, now a refuge. No longer a place of unrest, now a wellspring of peace. Say it with your spirit: I receive this covering. I rest under heaven's wings. My home is now holy ground. Beloved, feel your breath deepen. Feel your shoulders relax. Let yourself exhale. Because heaven is holding your house now. And in the stillness of the night, you will begin to feel it. The warmth, the safety, the quiet knowing that you are guarded. And not just you, but every door, every wall, every inch of space where you live. You are covered. Your family is covered. Your house is under angelic guard. Stay close, because in part 6, heaven will reveal the help that's been walking beside you all along and how you're not doing this alone anymore. You've been walking with pain for so long, but you were never walking alone. You thought the tears were unseen, that the silence meant no one was listening, that the weight you carried was yours alone to bear. But beloved, heaven has been with you the entire time. Even in the moments when no one checked on you, even when the phone didn't ring, when your prayers felt unanswered, when your heart broke quietly beneath a smile, heaven was watching. Heaven was weeping with you, and help was already dispatched. Hebrews 1 verse 14 reminds us, are not all angels ministering spirits sent to serve those who will inherit salvation? That means you, the one still standing. You, the one who didn't give up. You, the one reading this right now. You have been assigned help. Angels have been moving beside you, not as myth, not as metaphor, but as real as the breath in your lungs. There were times you thought, I'm all alone in this. And heaven responded, no, you've never been alone. Archangel Michael steps forward now to confirm you have been surrounded, backed up, carried when you couldn't walk, protected when you didn't even know there was danger nearby. There were nights when darkness tried to approach your door and an angel stood in the way. There were moments when despair tried to wrap itself around your heart and a heavenly whisper calmed your storm. There were spiritual attacks forming against your mind, but they were intercepted before they could touch you. That heaviness you sometimes feel, it wasn't just grief. It was spiritual weight being lifted off of you by those sent to help. Invisible intercession has been happening on your behalf. You were carried by divine strength in the moments you collapsed in prayer. When you could only say, "God, I don't know what else to do." The angels knew, and they moved. This is not imagination. This is revelation. There's been a team of heavenly beings assigned to your journey, and Michael himself has been overseeing the strategy. Because the calling on your life is too important to walk unguarded. The healing you're receiving is too sacred to leave unprotected. The restoration underway is too powerful to face alone. And now that your eyes are opening to this truth, you'll start to notice more. Moments when you feel a chill and there's no wind. Moments when you sense peace before anything changes. Moments when a quiet strength fills the room and you feel held. That's not your imagination. That's your help. That's heaven drawing near. God has not asked you to carry this weight by yourself. He has surrounded you with help, not just divine, but human. And soon, new people will begin entering your life. People who see you, people who pray for you, people who speak life instead of doubt. People who feel like answers to prayers you didn't know how to word. Because heaven works in teams, and you're about to meet yours. You are never required to heal alone. You are never required to fight alone. You are not a solo warrior. You are part of a kingdom, and heaven takes care of its own. So lift your head, beloved. You're not doing this by yourself anymore. You're walking with angels. You're covered by grace. You're held by God. And you're being guided step by step by Archangel Michael and the host assigned to your name. Say this out loud, even if you whisper it. I am not alone. I am surrounded by help. God has assigned heaven to walk with me. I receive the strength that's been waiting for me. And if you believe help has been assigned to you, type, I receive it in the comments right now. Don't wait. Let your words be a signal to heaven, I believe. I accept. I'm ready. And beloved, if this message has touched something deep in your soul, subscribe to hear the next one. Because the journey you've started isn't just emotional, it's spiritual. And heaven is guiding you step by step. This is more than a message. It's an unfolding. And you are not alone in any of it. You may have walked through valleys, but now you're walking with company. Holy company, angelic help, divine companionship. Let your heart rest in this truth that even when no one else was clapping for your progress, heaven was applauding your perseverance. Even when no one else saw your tears, God counted everyone. Even when you had no words left, your spirit still echoed to heaven and the angels responded. You've made it this far for a reason. And the reason is this: your help has been sent. Your strength is being renewed. And your journey is protected. Stay close, because in part 7, heaven will begin to touch the parts of you that have been hiding the deepest pain. And the healing will reach where words have never been able to go. You are not alone. You never were. And you never will be. It wasn't your fault. But you still carried the shame. You learned how to survive by pretending you were okay. You learned how to smile when your soul was aching. How to hold everyone else together while quietly unraveling inside. You told yourself it was over, that it happened long ago, that it didn't matter anymore. But beloved, God sees beneath what time tried to cover. This is where the deeper healing begins, not on the surface, but in the hidden places, in the parts of you that buried the pain so deep, even you stopped looking. The abuse, the abandonment, the betrayal, the disappointment that you never named because no one would have believed you anyway. God saw it all. Jeremiah 30 verse 17 declares, I will restore health to you and heal your wounds, declares the Lord. And He is not talking only about the wounds on your body. He's talking about the wounds in your memory, the ones that shaped how you see yourself, the ones that taught you how to be quiet when you should have been protected, the ones that made you question if love was ever safe. Archangel Michael now speaks softly but clearly. There are compartments in your soul that have been sealed, locked down, guarded by silence. But tonight, heaven opens them. Not to harm you, but to heal you. Because those compartments have been influencing your relationships, your self-worth, your ability to trust, your ability to receive. But heaven is not afraid of your history. God doesn't flinch at your wounds. He doesn't turn away from your brokenness. He moves toward it. There is a divine light entering you now, not just around you, but within you. It's searching the rooms where the memories were hidden, the ones where you stopped asking questions because they hurt too much, the ones where you stopped praying because it felt like no one answered. That light is not looking to expose you. It's looking to free you. Michael whispers, there is no shame in surviving. But now it is time to stop just surviving and start living. You no longer need to hide the pain to keep the peace. You no longer need to perform strength to earn love. You no longer need to hold your breath to make others comfortable. Heaven says you don't have to hide anymore. This is not about blaming anyone. It's about freeing the version of you that got trapped in a moment. The version of you that stopped trusting, stopped hoping, stopped feeling safe in your own skin. God is not angry at you. He's healing you. And healing doesn't always look like laughter at first. Sometimes it looks like tears finally falling. Sometimes it feels like memories surfacing. Sometimes it sounds like silence breaking. Let the silence break now. Let heaven speak where no one else could. Let God say the words you were too young, too afraid, or too silenced to say for yourself. I'm sorry they hurt you. I'm sorry they didn't protect you. I'm sorry no one saw your pain. But I did. And I still do. And I'm not leaving. I'm not turning away. I'm not embarrassed by your emotions. I'm here to hold, to heal, and to restore. Say this softly to your own heart. I give heaven permission to touch the pain I've hidden. I release the shame that never belonged to me. I receive the healing that was always meant for me. Beloved, this is not emotional. This is spiritual. What you're feeling right now is the weight beginning to lift. Not because it didn't happen, but because heaven is rewriting what it meant. You were never dirty. You were never disposable. You were never too much. You were never too broken. You were always worthy. You were always seen. You were always loved, even in the silence. And now the silence has been broken, not by chaos, not by noise, but by compassion. Michael stands near as the light fills those inner chambers, and where there was once coldness, warmth begins to return. Where there was once darkness, clarity begins to shine. Where there was once fear, peace begins to speak. You are not going crazy. You are healing. You are not relapsing. You are releasing. Let the tears fall. Let the memories surface. Let your heart say, I made it through. Because you did. And now you will begin to live. Fully. Without hiding. Without shame. Without apology. This is the part of you that heaven has always seen. The part of you God has always wanted to touch. You don't need to explain your pain to everyone. You don't need to justify your journey. You just need to keep receiving this love, this healing, this holy restoration, and beloved. You're doing it right now. Even as you listen, heaven is proud of you. Michael is still watching over you, and God is still speaking. Stay close, because in part 8, heaven will reveal the exact moment betrayal tried to break you and how God is turning it into breakthrough. God didn't stop the betrayal because he needed to reveal what was hidden. Beloved, this is going to hurt a little. But it's not meant to reopen the wound. It's meant to finally clean it. Because what happened to you wasn't fair. It wasn't right. And it wasn't unseen. The moment you found out, the silence before the truth came crashing down. The strange shift in their tone, the lie behind their smile, the sudden absence, the unexplained distance, the betrayal you never expected, heaven saw it all. Psalm 56 verse 8 says, "You keep track of all my sorrows. You have collected all my tears in your bottle. You have recorded each one in your book. Every tear, every shaking breath, every 'how could they do this to me?' was written in heaven's record." And though it felt like God didn't intervene in time, he was not absent. He was watching, and he was protecting. There are some betrayals God doesn't block, not because he doesn't care, but because he's exposing what could have destroyed you later. Archangel Michael speaks now, and he is not silent. He says, when they lied to you, heaven stood still. When they walked away, I was already walking in. When you were shaking in that room alone, I was placing my wings around your spirit. I saw the knife they carried behind their words. I saw the pride in their silence. And I saw the exact moment your trust broke. And here is what you need to know. It was not your fault. It was not a punishment. It was preparation. The betrayal was a door closing, not to hurt you, but to reroute you. Because you would have kept giving. You would have kept loving. You would have kept sacrificing for someone who had already made their choice. So God allowed the betrayal to happen, not because he wanted you to suffer, but because he was rescuing you from a deception you could not see on your own. Heaven never applauds betrayal, but heaven will use it to free you, to teach you, to strengthen your discernment, to break your agreement with counterfeit love. Michael reveals now you were protected even in the moment you felt most exposed. Even as you stood in silence, confused by what changed, heaven was documenting every second. That's why your dreams shifted. That's why your sleep broke. That's why you felt a heaviness in your chest. Your spirit knew before your mind could process. Because betrayal carries a spiritual scent, and your soul could smell what your eyes hadn't yet seen. You weren't crazy. You were discerning. And now God wants to tell you something that will release the weight once and for all. You are not the pain they caused. You are the healing God released. Let that settle. You are not the bitterness. You are not the silence. You are not the mistake. You are not the shame. You are the evidence that even betrayal cannot break the one God holds close. You've carried this long enough. The questions, the unanswered texts, the blame you turned inward. Let it go now. Let it leave you. Because heaven says, I never blamed you. I never shamed you. And I'm not asking you to stay in that memory one moment longer. And here's something you may need to hear again. Forgiveness does not require re-entry. You can forgive them and never trust them again. You can release the weight and never reopen the door. God is not asking you to pretend it didn't hurt. He's asking you to hand him the pain, because he's already writing the restoration. Say this with me: I release what they did to me. I forgive them, but I don't owe them access. I choose peace over punishment. I choose healing over bitterness. I choose freedom over re-entry. Archangel Michael is standing beside you as these words rise from your spirit. And something is breaking now. Not your heart, your attachment to the pain. It no longer defines you. It no longer follows you. It no longer gets to speak into your worth. What they did says more about their wound than your value. And now you're moving forward without carrying their sin on your shoulders. The betrayal was not the end. It was the unveiling. And what was unveiled, heaven will now redeem. So let the tears fall if they need to. Let your body feel the release. Let your heart exhale, because this chapter is closing. Michael whispers, "You have cried your last tear over this, and now the healing begins." Stay close, because in part 9, you will learn that the blessing wasn't denied, it was delayed until the betrayal was removed. And now, it's coming back for you. It's not too late. The blessing is still searching for you. There's something you prayed for, and you still remember the moment. You asked with full faith. You believed with your whole heart. And when nothing happened, you wondered if heaven had gone silent. But heaven wasn't ignoring you. Heaven was protecting what you asked for. Because the delay wasn't denial. It was divine interference. Beloved, hear this in your spirit. That thing you've been waiting for didn't vanish. It didn't pass you by. It didn't choose someone else. It's been circling, waiting for the moment the spiritual resistance was cleared. Daniel chapter 10 verse 13 gives us this glimpse. But the prince of the Persian kingdom resisted me 21 days. Then Michael, one of the chief princes, came to help me. Your answered prayer was sent, but something tried to block it. A spiritual force stood in the way, a resistance you couldn't see but you could feel. In the tension, the silence, the weight. Archangel Michael saw it. And now he's moved on your behalf. What was once held up is now being released. What was once trapped in warfare is now being loosed with angelic power. You didn't miss your blessing. Your blessing was being fought for. This is the part no one tells you. That sometimes your blessing arrives in the spirit before it shows up in your life. And if the enemy can't stop God from sending it, he'll try to make you stop believing it's coming. But you held on. You kept praying. You kept hoping even when it hurt. And because of that, your blessing is still alive, still moving, still appointed to your name. Michael speaks clearly now, and the path has been cleared. What was once delayed will now accelerate. What this means, beloved, is that what should have taken years can happen in days. What looked impossible can turn with one divine conversation, one door, one moment, one shift. The time you thought you lost, God is restoring it. And not just returning what was held up, but multiplying it. Because when heaven delays a blessing, it does so to prepare you and to preserve it. And when the two finally meet, it's always more beautiful than if it had arrived too early. You thought it was rejection, but it was preservation. You thought God said no, but he was saying not yet. The atmosphere isn't ready, and now the atmosphere is ready. Say this with me in faith. What I thought was lost is on its way. I receive what was delayed. My blessing was not denied. It was protected. Beloved, you didn't miss your moment. Your moment was hidden, kept under watch until the resistance passed. And now that it has, you're about to see sudden movement. Watch what happens in the coming days. Unexpected messages. Opportunities that seemed to vanish suddenly return. Hearts that were closed begin to soften. Something you buried hope for begins to rise again. It's not coincidence. It's convergence. And you are not too old. You are not too late. You are not too broken. You are not disqualified. You're right on time for what heaven preserved. Let this truth anchor you. God will never let what was meant for you be permanently taken by someone else. What's yours by divine assignment cannot be stolen. It can be delayed, but never denied. Michael now confirms this in the spirit. What they said was over. Heaven calls unfinished. What they said was dead heaven is resurrecting. What they said you missed heaven, never removed from your timeline. It's still coming. And it's coming better than you expected. This is what time restoration looks like. Not just receiving what you asked for, but receiving it at the exact time your heart is strong enough to hold it. So take a breath. Let go of the lie that it's over. Let go of the guilt of thinking you ruined something. Let go of the fear that you're too far gone. Because heaven is not just revisiting your request, it's fulfilling it in full. And beloved, you're going to look back and say, if I had received it, then I wouldn't have been ready. But now, I can see the protection in the delay. So if your hands are shaking a little right now, if you feel something rising in your chest, that's your spirit recognizing that the release has begun. You've entered the hour where the blessing finds you, not because you were perfect, but because you were faithful, and because heaven never forgot. Stay close, because in part 10, you'll be invited to act like your miracle is already in motion and help others believe that theirs is coming too. You may not see it, but your prayer activated something in heaven. The moment you whispered, "God, please protect me," heaven began to move. You might have felt like nothing happened, like the danger continued, like your prayers didn't change a thing. But that's because what moved in the spirit first. Protection doesn't always shout. It shields. It redirects. It removes what you didn't even know could harm you. And beloved, the protection you asked for, it's already in motion. Mark chapter 11 verse 24 says, "Therefore I tell you, whatever you ask for in prayer, believe that you have received it, and it will be yours." Heaven didn't wait to see if you deserved it. Heaven responded because you asked with faith, even weak faith, even whispered faith, even tear-soaked, exhausted, barely holding on kind of faith. God heard it, and He answered. The moment you asked. Archangel Michael now steps forward to affirm it. Movement has already begun. Heaven heard the request. Protection was released. Yes. Even while you were sleeping, even while you were doubting, even while you were wondering if it was too late. Beloved, just because you can't see it yet doesn't mean it isn't happening. The delay was only in sight, not in spirit. There are things that were forming against you that you will never have to face. Conversations meant to sabotage you, now silenced. People who once plotted against your joy, suddenly distant. Decisions you almost made, redirected in your favor. This is how heaven protects. You prayed for peace, and God began dismantling the source of your anxiety. You prayed for financial security, and doors began to close that would have drained you. You prayed for relationship clarity, and heaven started separating you from what was never meant to stay. It didn't look like protection at first. Some of it looked like rejection. Some of it felt like loss. But now it's becoming clear. God was answering all along. There's a covering forming over you now. A shield that's invisible to the eye, but stronger than any threat formed in darkness. Michael whispers, "Tell them the hedge is already built. Tell them the wall of fire is already rising. Tell them you are not exposed. You are encircled." So say this with your own voice. My protection is already unfolding. What I prayed for has already begun. Heaven has answered. And I believe. You don't have to earn this covering. You've already received it. And the more you lean into trust, the more you'll begin to see the evidence appear. You'll notice it in how situations begin to shift without your effort. In how conversations begin to align with what you were praying behind closed doors. in how peace returns to your home, in how your body begins to rest again. Financial provision is forming. Emotional healing is accelerating. Relational peace is settling. Not because you forced it, but because you asked for heaven's help. And heaven responded. So now even if fear tries to return, even if worry tries to stir your heart, you'll know the truth. It's already been handled. It's already been sealed. It's already in motion. And right now, if you believe that your protection has already begun, type Amen in the comments. Let your agreement echo in the spirit. Let heaven see that your heart says yes. Let others who feel uncertain see your declaration and be strengthened. And if you know someone, even just one person who's walking through fear, confusion, or uncertainty, share this message with them, not as content, but as a confirmation, because the same protection covering you can begin moving for them too. Beloved, this is a moment of alignment. Heaven is partnering with your faith, and the breakthrough has already begun behind the scenes. Michael is not waiting. He's already walking, clearing the path, lighting the way, guarding your life. So don't retreat into fear. Step forward in trust. You are covered, you are surrounded, and you are never unprotected. Let this settle in your soul. You are not vulnerable. You are victorious. You are not hanging by a thread. You are held by the hand of God. You are not exposed. You are enveloped in glory, in peace, in protection. And this protection will not lift tomorrow. It won't wear off. It won't forget your address. It has been assigned to you, sealed with your name, and backed by heaven's authority. Stay close, because in part 11 you'll begin to understand why certain people had to be removed and how their absence was actually the mercy that made your protection possible. Heaven didn't subtract. It refined. There's a peace that doesn't come from gain. It comes from release. Some losses weren't really losses. They were heaven's mercy. You may still feel the ache of who left, the silence, the unanswered message, the friend who disappeared, the relationship that collapsed, the family tie that frayed until it snapped. But beloved, this isn't about rejection. This is about redirection. Archangel Michael stands with gentleness in his voice. What was removed did not carry your blessing. Heaven did not punish you. It preserved you. John 15 verse 2 says, "Every branch in me that does not bear fruit, he takes away. And every branch that does bear fruit, he prunes that it may bear more fruit." God doesn't just protect you from enemies. Sometimes he protects you from distractions, from relationships that feel right but drain your destiny, from connections that comfort your past but can't carry your future. Yes, it hurt when they left, but not every subtraction was sabotage. Some exits were sacred. Heaven didn't remove them to break you. Heaven removed them so you wouldn't break. The next season of your life is too valuable to be surrounded by those who cannot carry its weight. And deep down, you sensed it. You felt it in the moments you couldn't explain the distance. You heard it in the tone of conversations that no longer matched your heart. You saw it in the way they misunderstood your growth, mocked your healing, or minimized your calling. And yet you stayed. Because you're loyal, because you love deeply, because you wanted to give them another chance. But heaven said no more. Not because of anger, but because of alignment. This was the pruning, not punishment. Refinement. They weren't meant to hold your next chapter. They weren't assigned to carry the blessing you've been praying for. And their presence would have polluted the promise. So they were released. Or maybe you were. And now, even if it still stings, you're being asked to let it go fully. Because the healing can't finish while you're still looking over your shoulder, wondering if they'll come back. Archangel Michael speaks again. There are people being sent to you now who will not misread you. They will not dishonor your depth. They will not betray what God is building in you. But you must make space. And space doesn't form through grief alone. It forms through agreement. So today, agree with heaven's pruning. Say this with your voice: I release what was never meant to stay. I bless those who left, but I won't follow them into the past. I make room now for heaven-sent connections. You are not unlovable. You are not unwanted. You are not cursed. You are chosen and protected by refinement. And if your heart still aches, that's okay. God knows the pain of separation. Jesus himself was betrayed, misunderstood, abandoned. But look at what came after the resurrection. The power, the fullness of destiny. Yours is coming too. Because now heaven is sending the right ones. Those who will walk with you through valleys. Those who will speak life instead of doubt. Those who will pray instead of compete. Those who won't flinch at your fire or shrink at your anointing. They are on their way. But until they arrive, breathe in the peace of divine subtraction. You don't have to chase. You don't have to explain. You don't have to hold broken things together just to feel loved. You are already loved, already seen, already supported, even in the silence. Michael wants you to hear this clearly. The removal was your rescue. The absence was your upgrade. The detachment was your divine preservation. They were not bad, but they were not right for where you're going. So bless the past, but don't go back. Stand still. Let your roots go deeper. And get ready, because the ones sent by God will recognize the garden growing in you now. They will not fear your strength. They will not exploit your vulnerability. They will carry your name in prayer without needing credit or control. You are being prepared for relationships that heal, not harm. For partnerships that align, not drain. For love that mirrors heaven, not tests your worth. You didn't lose. You were led. And where God is leading you now, no counterfeit can follow. So breathe. Let the old go. Feel the burden lift. You are free. And your circle is being cleansed for what heaven is about to release next. Stay close, because in the final part, you'll hear heaven's final seal, the promise that your healing is complete and your protection is permanent. You can rest now, because the healing has begun and the protection is sealed. Breathe. Feel the stillness settle around you. Not the stillness of emptiness, but the stillness of completion. You've come through every word, every moment, every tear, and heaven has been watching. Psalm 121 verse 8 says, "The Lord will watch over your coming and your going, both now and forevermore." That's not just a verse. That's your promise. Archangel Michael stands silently now. He doesn't need to speak, because the seal has already been set. This wasn't just a message. This was a visitation, a holy encounter, a divine assignment fulfilled. Heaven didn't just send words to comfort you. Heaven dispatched help to cover you. Your mind, the part of you that's been racing and restless, is now being calmed by the spirit of peace. Your body, the part of you that's carried silent trauma, tension, and fatigue, is now being cradled by healing. Your home, the place where confusion or chaos may have crept in, is now under angelic guard. Your future, the unknown that once felt threatening, is now under divine supervision. You are no longer exposed. You are no longer unguarded. The healing has begun, and the protection is sealed. Archangel Michael bows before the throne not because his task was difficult, but because your endurance was sacred. You didn't quit. You didn't walk away. You kept listening. You kept believing. You kept coming back even when everything in you wanted to give up. Heaven honors that. There were moments you thought you were too broken to be fixed, too late to be chosen, too weary to be healed. But heaven says you are not too late. You are not forgotten. Your name has been marked. And not just with remembrance, but with peace. God did not just restore what was broken. He sealed it. He secured it. He wrapped your healing in His own presence so no hand of the enemy could touch it again. The voices that once accused you are now silenced. The cycles that once trapped you are now broken. The lies that once defined you are now void. You are free. You are covered. You are blessed. Let that settle into your bones. You are covered. You don't have to fight tonight. You don't have to earn anything. You don't have to prove anything. You can simply rest. Because when heaven seals something, no man, no demon, no storm can undo it. Even as your eyes close, the angels stand guard. Even as your mind drifts into dreams, your spirit remains protected. You're not alone in this night. You're not vulnerable in this hour. This night is holy. This rest is sacred. This silence is filled with divine presence. Let go now, not just of pain, but of pressure. Let go of the need to figure it all out. Let go of the weight of self-reliance. Whisper this, if you can: I'm safe. I'm seen. I'm sealed. Again, even softer now: I'm safe. I'm seen. I'm sealed. Heaven has marked your name with peace. It's written across your story. It's hovering over your bed. It's resting on your tomorrow. This moment is not the end. It's the beginning of a quieter, safer, stronger you. And when the noise of the world tries to return, remember this sanctuary. Remember this space. Remember this invitation. Archangel Michael whispers it. Now, come back tomorrow. This is your sanctuary. You are welcome here. Not because you're perfect, but because you're precious. This place isn't about performance. It's about presence. His presence. Covering you, healing you, guiding you. So let this be your rhythm. Lay it down. Let God carry it. Return here. And let your soul be reminded again and again that you are loved. May the peace of the Lord wrap you like a warm blanket. May His angels guard every side of your home. May His Spirit breathe into your dreams. May you wake tomorrow with clarity, courage, and calm. You've done enough for today. Now let grace do the rest. The healing is sealed. You are covered. You are not too late. You are not forgotten. You are home, right here, right now, in God's arms. Sleep well, beloved. You are safe, and we'll be here again tomorrow.